I'm Jennifer Angel, executive coach and professional astrologer. Welcome to my podcast, Soul Talk. Each week, we'll be covering topics that cover mind, body, and spirit, and how you can step into your personal power place. Okay, some weeks I'm going to have some guests on it too, so it's going to be exciting. I hope you enjoy the show. Let's get started. Hi there. Thanks for being here. This week, we're going to be talking about intuition and intuition for business. Okay. So, how important is it and how easy is it? I'm going to take you through three main steps of how you can quickly tune in and access your intuition. And that way, you can, as I say, you can get the right answers at the right time. Of course, my intuitive corporate clients hire me on a weekly or monthly basis just to check in on everything and use me as a sounding board and my intuitiveness. And let's not forget, I'm a professional astrologer as well. So, incorporate all that in. If you're interested in that, then, please reach out to me and we can discuss a program for you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen on and off. And, so right now, intuition. It's not just for the sages and not just for people like me who have studied metaphysics all of my life. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has the connection for intuition. It's available to every single person on the planet and off the planet, okay? But, okay, so how do you learn to recognize that? It takes a little bit of time, okay? I mean, it's like everything else that you have to learn. You have to be committed to it. You have to put time aside for it just to go in and develop that side of you. It's there, yes. Some people seem to have it like naturally. Other people have to work at it, and that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to go through. So first of all, energy clearance. So we're going to start and talk about how to clear energy and different ways that we can do that. All right. So, number one, you want to get comfortable and you want to get yourself in a position where you can just focus on this. If you're by yourself or not driving or in a situation where you can close your eyes, it's always better to close your eyes, because what that does is it blocks out the external noise and all the distractions. And we will be talking about, distractions. So we're going to go through, first of all, energy clearing, then awareness and mindfulness, and then connection and communication. All right. So first of all, when you're in your nice little space, and look at, I will do a session one day on setting your environment, but just for now, just get a place where you feel comfortable to do this, and a place where you're not going to be disturbed. So your environment is really important. What do you look out on? How do you feel? How is this set up? Is it comfortable? So, okay, get comfortable. First of all, we want to do a couple of yawns, like, okay, what that does is it just helps to release anything that's stuck there, and thoughts, and it just helps. It's the start. It helps to center. Next, we're going to go into some circular breathing. We're going to do 3 breaths. So come on along and do it with me. So in through the nostrils, and then out through the mouth. So the first one breath just helps to get rid of any just tent up. If your shoulders are tight or your body's all, cramped up, it's like, all right. The next breath, try to imagine that you have an illuminated light. So as you're coming, like a candlelight. So as you're breathing in, And imagine it's like an egg form right around your body, this bright, illuminated candle light, okay? And for the last breath, we're going to focus on color. So as you're breathing in, imagine that there's a color, this light has just, bright, and it's just illuminated with a color. So it's like, whew. It doesn't matter what color, whatever color comes to mind. And if you don't get a color, that's okay too. All right. So the breathing helps to regulate, it helps to relax. And if you've ever known anybody who smoked, I smoked when I was younger. I sort of grew up in that era where it was a cool thing to do. Fortunately, I gave that up about 30 years ago. But, I always remember people used to say, oh, smoking relaxes me. So guess what? That's because they're like inhaling and breathing out. So the whole breath work is really powerful. Yeah, once you get into that state, so now we're more relaxed, you want to like intensify that relaxed feeling. I know that sounds like an opposite, an oxymoron, but just like, oh, this just feels so good. And just like, wow, don't get into, oh, this is hard, or I can't meditate, I can't focus, I can't, none of that. Okay, don't even think it, don't put it out there. If those thoughts come through, just go, stop, enough. Okay, and just replace it with, oh, this feels good, I'm relaxed, I'm comfortable, I feel I'm in a good place right now. Okay, so the next part, let me just go back and share my screen again. And this next part that we're going to focus on is mindfulness and awareness. Okay, so you want to notice, like, how do you feel? Like, how does that feel? And, and as I just said, you want to think about the positive and the good things that it feels. If you're uncomfortable, then move around a little bit, get comfortable. So do you have any distractions? And what are those distractions? Is it internal noise or is it external noise? Okay, so the internal noise is all about the chatter that goes on. Oh, I forgot to pick up the milk. Oh, I have to get that for my daughter. Oh, I didn't call that job back. Or, I have to do this, I've got to go there, and I have to balance this. And like, it's like, it seems like the moment that you get quiet and centered, all these things that you forgot come like piling in. It's true, isn't it? Hey, and so you want to like be aware of that, notice it, and if it's internal noise, what I like to do is just quietly say, oh yeah, thank you for reminding me, please file in my mind and come back immediately when I finish this process. Okay, if you don't think you can do that, then quickly just write it down on a little pad. So then it's cleared, it's out of your mind. You don't have to keep it there. The external noise can be a little bit more difficult because that's not within your control. And so, if something's going on outside, you're in New York and there's like sirens going on and horns beeping or whatever's going on outside of you, then practice being, practice like putting distance between you and the noise. Like, don't get in, don't grab hold of it, don't go, oh, right now, oh, right. Do they have to do that? Construction right now, like you start to get angry and agitated? No, because that's just going to undo all the work that you've already done to relax. Okay, so put like some distance. It's like, okay, I notice the noise, it's there, let's not focus on it. Just let it go. Bring your attention back. Be more of a spectator, okay, with that. And the next thing that you want to do is you're going to get into your happy place. Okay. Now, what's a happy place? A happy place is any thought, imagination that makes you feel happy. It puts a smile on your face. So, you know, my man, whenever he texts, I immediately get a smile on my face, you know, because I love him dearly. And whenever I hear from him, it's just, I notice myself smiling. I notice myself feeling happy. Okay. So a happy place can even be an imaginary place, like it's a place that you're going to step into, and a place that it's in your goals and in your dreams. I mean, of course, you can't wait to get there to be happy, because you need to be happy now to get there. And happiness is a choice. I might do a whole segment on happiness one day, but happiness, I've learned, is a choice. You can choose to be happy. You can choose not to be happy, okay? And so when you make the decision to be happy, then you have to monitor what's happening around you. What is making you, what makes you feel happy? What makes you feel unhappy? And if you've got something of frustration or a person or a situation in your life that constantly just brings your energy down and it's heavy, then you want to think about how you can limit that. I mean, okay, maybe it's a family member and you're not prepared to, you know, cut the ties or whatever, but you want to maybe limit the time. I mean, you know, I always remember when I did give up smoking, I tried it 3 times. By the third time, I realized that, you know, I couldn't be around anyone who smoked. I wasn't strong enough. I got such a hold on me. So I didn't say anything, but for a period of time, I just stopped seeing people who smoked, okay? I mean, I didn't sort of say to them, you know, don't come near me. I just stepped away. And that's what I needed to do to become stronger and to alleviate the temptation, not forever, but until I felt strong enough to be around people who smoked and not ask them for one. Okay. So, you know, it's the same with your happy place. You want to just, you know, be with people who helps you stay in that happy place. All right. And all right, so now, all right, so we're centered. We've gone through our self-awareness. We've stepped into our happy place, and the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to move on to connect and communicate. Okay, and as I always say, the power of you is within you. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're preparing and we're stepping into and we're getting everything ready. And now we're going to like reach out to the universal energy source. Now, for everyone, this can be different. Okay, for me, it's the God energy, or it's universal energy source, or I call in my guides as well. I call in people that I know that are in spirit, you know, and I call in angels. So whatever this is, I call everyone in, like, come on, let's have a party, you know. So whatever that is for you that helps you connect with a higher vibrational energy source, then that's all that matters, okay? Because you don't even have to tell anyone, you know? And so then you ask that energy to be present. And then, so once that that you are present with that energy, now that you can go in and start communicating. All right. So, and how do you communicate? You can communicate by asking, like, say, you have a question, you want some insight. And so you calmly ask after you've connected with your higher vibrational energy source. ask a question, please give me some guidance, or some answers, or whatever feels good for you. It's more important for you to say it in a way that feels good for you, okay? And so then you just, just sit back. And as I said, everything is easier with your eyes closed because it blocks out the distraction. All right. So then you ask for the guidance and sit. And just sit like for, it could come quickly, it could take a little bit longer. How are you going to know? It can come through as an audio, you can hear sounds. It can come through as a vision. I get a vision. I'm more clairvoyant in this sense. And it comes through just as a knowingness. I get that sort of knowingness, like that feeling about, when I'm with my corporate clients, I'll get a feeling about their client or their people that they're working with, and what their intentions are, how they're going to go about dealing with you, how they communicate, are there any hidden factors, and I get the information through. So what you want to do, it's really important, don't prejudge the information. Don't try to go in and logically say, oh, that's not right. No, that can't be right. How can that be right? Don't overthink it. Just receive. So you want to just be open, and you can say, I'm now open to receive divine insight. So you want to be just open to receive it and see and notice how it's coming through for you. And then personally, because I'm an earth sign, so I like to write everything down, I have a little pad there, and I just quickly write it down. And in the process of it, I might just open my eyes and write it down, and then I'll go back in. If need be, you can do a few more breaths so you reconnect, and you go back in and get that, information. I mean, how important is it to tune into your intuition, and particularly for business? Yeah, it's really important. I mean, I'll tell you a story of when I was in Australia, and I had a intuitive bureau, 1-800 numbers. I had 100 mainly psychic women. There were some men, mainly psychic women on my team working for me, or intuitive advisors, as we called them. And they were all employed. So I had them on as employees. And it was like a process to come on. And for you to come onto our team, because we were the premium team in Sydney, Australia, you had to go through a number of things to come onto the team. Firstly, you had to be recommended. You couldn't even get through the door unless you were recommended by somebody on the team, or somebody we knew. So that was the first step. The next step, you had to have some counseling skills, and you had to have a range of a range of skills, and not just picked up a packet of tarot cards and say, I want to be a reader. No, okay. You had to have a range of skills to come on, and then you had to have a session give a session to, one of my office staff. So anyway, the story is, long story short, this person came on, she was recommended, she passed all the processes, and I just didn't feel good about her. It's like, there's just something not quite right here. It was sort of like a little gremlin. But at that time, I wasn't a strong enough manager to make those hard choices. So I took the easy way out. Sure, come on board. And then sometime later, through the advice of my accountant and legal team, I took those 100 consultants from employees to consultants, all above board, did it the right way, of course. And this person took me to court for unlawful dismissal. So guess what? 12 months later and $30,000, I won that case. And I had to keep going because, you know, if I didn't win the case, I couldn't just pay nuisance money because I had another 99 people sort of waiting to see what the outcome was. And so, yeah, did I know she was a problem? Did my intuition tell me that this is potential problem? Yeah, I knew. So did I get to know then what that felt like? Because guess what? Sometimes we simply just have to go against our intuition to know what that feeling is, to know how it feels. Okay. And so I do hope you don't go through something that costs you 30 grand to actually know that feeling. But it was a great lesson, excuse me, for sure. So, you know, when I say get to know what that feeling is, that's what I'm talking about. Most of us know really what that feels like. And so now we just have to nurture it, pay attention to it, notice it, recognize it, and go, yeah, no, looks great on paper, but it doesn't feel right. Of course, as many of you know, I'm a professional astrologer as well, and I do astrological profiling. So if you have somebody new on your team or in your life or a client, then we can go in with a very few details and see how they tick, how they communicate, what's important to them, what are going to be their highest, their highest priorities, what are their strengths, their challenges. And so then we get a better communication and relationship building, you know, with that person. Okay. But back to the, developing your intuition. So this 3-step, you can do it. I know it seems like a lot, but you can do it very quickly. Okay. So energy clearance, yawn, breathing, the light comes through, the color, and intensifying. I mean, so it can be like a very quick process. Next, onto the mindfulness and awareness. How does it feel? Are there distractions? To distance yourself from the distractions. Just focus. And the other thing I didn't take you through is like relax, relax, relax. So if, for instance, you get to that point where you cannot block the distractions out, you will eventually. It's just going to take a little practice, okay, a little work, and just keep doing it. And and you've got like still tenseness, and so your shoulders are tense. So you want to go in and you want to like speak to your shoulders or speak to where that tense feeling is, and you just ask your body just to relax, relax, relax. And with every word, just imagine that tension is draining out, okay? And then you want to get into a happy place. Really, if everybody has like a happy place. My little dog Yogi, bless his heart, died a few years ago, but he used to, when I get home, he used to do like a little happy dance. I'm sure if anybody has a dog will understand that. And that was his sort of little happy place, and then we go into, connect. So we call in the energy source, we connect us and to be present, and then we communicate, okay? So all of that can be done, quite quickly, and within a couple of minutes, then you're in that space. Once again, takes practice. You're in that space, okay? And then you can get like insight through. So And you can get so good at this that, sure, it's better to close your eyes or easier, or but you can do it with your eyes closed. You can get to the point where it's really just easy and you just go through. Failing that, book a session or package with me, and we can start working on that together. All right. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate you, and I hope you're enjoying the podcast and all the rest of my work, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching my Soul Talk podcast. For more information on my consultations or programs, you can get that from jenniferangel.com. And I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, I hope you have an amazing week and something fantastic comes through for you. Bye for now.